This is an Audio Wool original.
This episode of Frightday is brought to you by Spring-Heeled Jack Coffee. You need great coffee. Jack delivers. Visit springheeljack.coffee.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you'd like to support us, go to patreon.com/frightday.
Oh God, what is that? A boiling cauldron?
Where?
Covered with cobwebs. There's eyes of newt lying everywhere.
Oh, it's a bit. Got it. Sorry. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Looking around like you're like, oh, this is embarrassing.
I have no idea what's up. I mean, I haven't slept.
You haven't. It is Frightday. I'm your host, Byron. No place is quite like your hometown, the old stalking grounds, and while you may leave, it's these familiar places that will keep calling you back. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again. However, some homecomings are more welcome than others. We'll talk about that, adult talent shows, and a third thing that I didn't write. Sorry, I didn't finish it. What's another thing? Yeah, you're tired. Reviewing David Gordon Green's Halloween Kills. I'm joined tonight by Kelly.
Yeah.
And Sam can't make it because he's practicing swinging a baseball bat.
I mean, he doesn't like sports in general.
Really?
But he really dislikes baseball.
All right, well.
I think he meant dislike football more, but really doesn't like baseball.
How you doing? It's the
good.
Halloween episode.
I am feeling very Halloween-y.
You're rubbing your
I'm
face
having
real
hallucinations.
hard.
I'm good.
You're not doing very well.
I'm going to see if I can get disemboweled for Halloween.
That could be fun. What a gift for all of us. But,
Yeah.
Welcome
No.
home. I'm
All's well.
recording in your house.
We're in the house.
There's
I
no
know.
trains
feel
or
like such a coward.
jets or
God damn it. There have never been trains.
kids yelling, horns honking.
We've got some of that. The kids will yell.
But
in a
now we've
minute.
got all these spooky things like thunder in the background and boiling cauldrons and guys dragging chains down the hallway.
Ooh, I can hear those. Do you know that the girls have picked up my ghost noises
God.
and now that's like their thing?
Is it still your friend Shanoa's ringtone? Is that?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Camp.frightday.com.
Oh, yeah. So,
You're upset?
no, I don't want to disappoint people. I hate
we're
disappointing
not going to disappoint people. We're going to make it even better than before because it's looking
Because
like
it's no longer a Halloween camp. It's a Christmas camp.
All right, don't yell into it. And there is a possibility that we're going to have to push it back just a little bit, but for good reasons. It's still happening.
Yeah,
There
it'll
will
be good.
There will be a revised date, the announcements of the guests.
Okay,
And
we should really make sure that it is okay with the people that have already signed up.
well, at this point, we've already reached out to everyone who's enrolled
Okay,
at
good.
camp.frightday.com.
I struggle with the time lapses.
You haven't been doing very well with time. You're back in town. And listen, it's good. It's all for the best.
Is
Of
it?
course it is.
Okay.
We will have firm announcements pending your input.
Pending.
What did you want to talk about?
Well, I found this really great list of movies, primarily comprised of movies that I haven't seen because the 70s, other than like the big hitters that everybody talks about, you know, like
Halloween.
Yes, and Exorcist and The Omen and all that good stuff. Like most of the 70s horror I haven't seen. And there was one movie that I've been trying to figure out because I saw it forever ago when I was a kid. Roddy McDowell was in it, and I have never been able to figure out
You're
what movie
obsessed
it
with
is.
the McDowell family. Let it go.
I don't know why. Is Roddy related to
I have no idea.
Andy?
Maybe.
Interesting. Anyhow, I mean, for a long time, just
No,
periodically
they're not.
searching for it. But I finally found it. It's called The Legend of Hell House.
What did he do to make this house so evil?
Murder, vampirism, cannibalism, drug addiction, alcoholism, sadism, mutilation.
How did it end?
If it had ended, we would not be here.
inside me. Even as I'm speaking to you, I can feel him just waiting in there to take over.
The house tried to kill me. It almost succeeded.
Naked, drunk, fighting. Oh, please get me out of here. Please.
Oh, I'd seen Legend of Hell House.
It's great. I mean, it's awesome 70s costumes, really gross, over-the-top, ornate decorations. It's really fun. And so...
Is this your staff pick? Should we have started staff picks at this point? Callie.
I mean, I guess I have a lot of staff picks, though, because the reason I found it was on a whole list of the 10 best horror movies from the 70s, and most of them I haven't seen. And I'm like, fuck, this is what I'm doing for Halloween now.
I know you're not feeling great, but these DVD copies of Sweet Home Alabama aren't going to put themselves
Have you already
away.
done that? I think you already did Sweet Home
It's
Alabama.
time for staff picks.
They say so much, but they never tell you if it's any good.
Werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it.
The Howling, horror, straight ahead.
I do like Reese Witherspoon. Do you know her son turned 18 the other day? Deacon. Felipe.
Legend of Hell House.
I really don't like her ex-husband at all. I like Legend of Hell House. Legend of Hell House. So it's a little bit haunting-y, okay? It is a great haunted house. It's a Richard Matheson story. Everybody loves a good Richard Matheson, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Paranormal investigators.
Former home of a sadist and murderer.
Right. So they like up it that way. I mean, they got to put the 70s spin on it.
Yeah.
But there's a millionaire that's trying to determine if the house is really haunted and by what. Because in the 70s, millionaires dabbled in Satanism the way that billionaires dabble in skinwalker ranches these days.
It's funny that you think that that's gone when that's like the entire QAnon conspiracy is the elite cabal.
Okay, no, but it
Are worshiping
it
Satan.
happened then.
Sure.
And now it happens with Skinwalker Ranch. Fuck Q.
Well, yeah.
Fucking Q. Ugh. Now you got me feeling awful
Well,
again.
I'm sorry. Did you see that Ron's running for Congress in Arizona?
No, he is not.
Yeah, he is.
Is Jim dead yet?
No, Jim, he lives in the United States, though. He's back. He sold the pig farm.
Wait, why did he move back to the United States?
I think it's a family issue.
What happened?
He's getting divorced? I don't know. Maybe.
Whoever was fucking married to him before is a psychopath.
Okay.
So anyhow, we've got Pamela Franklin, Roddy McDowell.
Is someone crushed by a falling crucifix in this?
Shh, don't ruin it.
That sounds like a hoot.
It is a hoot.
Wow. All
And
right.
here's an interesting question I have for you, Byron.
Hit me with it, please.
The group arrived to begin their investigation a week before Christmas Eve, so it's a fucking Christmas movie,
All right.
Byron?
Now we're doing this debate again.
Uh-huh. Is it? Is it
I
a
just
Christmas
want to
movie?
know what everyone thinks. Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas or a Halloween movie?
It is unquestionably a
Christmas
Halloween movie.
It's
Oh
a
my God.
Christmas movie.
No, it's not.
The characters are stepping out into the Christmas world. That's the adventure. Is they're going to the Christmas world. It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
No.
It's okay. There's a poll in the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/.
Well, anyhow, so this great Christmas movie, Legend of Hell House, is really fun. We've got violent psychic activity. We've got super awesome 70s everything. If you look at the poster for it, here's the tagline. For the sake of your sanity, pray it isn't true. It's
a good one.
amazing. It's just so great.
I like it.
This is one that I'm going to be sitting down and watching with my hubby, probably on all sorts of pain meds. It's going to be really great.
All right. Just alluding to some sort of pending procedure. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
My pick for this week. I know you said you had some more, but I mean, are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about the others after you do yours.
Okay. This is the first feature film from one of my favorite directors working today, 2007's, don't make that face at me, Kelly, Murder Party.
This is the party. We've been planning this for weeks.
The invitation said murder party. If some jackass is dumb enough to come here, then he deserves to die.
Look, I don't think we actually thought someone would be stupid enough to show up.
So white male is perfect.
Think beyond splattering blood on canvas. When our masterpiece is complete, and the coroner's report is back in, it will read the cause of death. Art.
Happy Halloween.
Everybody dies.
I didn't sign on for a second-degree assault party.
I may have talked about this film at some point. I don't think I've ever done this as a staff pick, though. A bit of a dumb guy who works as a meter maid accepts a random invitation to something called a murder party on Halloween.
Is it a comedy?
It is actually a comedy.
Okay.
This is something he believes to be a costume party, so he makes a night costume out of cardboard and makes his way to that event. Turns out it's a trap set up by a group of satanic art students with the intention of killing him, for art.
Interesting.
Things don't go as planned, and in a very Dale and Tucker kind of way, casualties start accumulating. Bordering on mumblegore, this is it. I didn't say who the director is yet, did I?
You said he's one of your favorites.
Jeremy Saulnier?
Oh, Saulnier!
Love him with all my heart.
Saulnier!
Him and a handful of talented folks made this little scrappy Halloween.
Scrappy.
It is scrappy.
Scrappy-dappy-doo!
Jeremy, people might know him. Blue Ruin might be the best crime thriller ever made.
Grim.
Came in 2013, I believe.
Grim.
Which is a huge gap between 2007's Murder Party and Blue Ruin.
Takes a while to make good movies,
Byron. It does, yeah. And that film was my introduction to his muse and childhood best friend, Macon Blair, who is also in Murder Party.
I wonder if there are any other parents out there that have kids who watch Sid the Science Kid, because there's this song in it called Word Party.
Okay.
Word Party, Word Party. They sing this song over and over again, and every time you say Murder Party, that's what goes into my brain.
All
so
right.
I'm just trying to block that.
You should pay attention to the things I'm saying instead of going back to some sort of weird MK Ultra-esque programming that these cartoons are.
Oh, God. You know what's going to be really fun is now that I'm not sleeping tonight, I have slated 2 hours to read more of my Montauk stuff.
All right. So Jeremy followed up
Blue
Ruin with Green Room, which we gushed about way back in episode 75 of the podcast. And then he did Hold the Dark, which is not bad. We talked about in episode 182. But actually, I learned something I didn't know about Jeremy.
Saulnier! I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's the holiday, or else I wouldn't allow such chaos. While researching Murder Party, I found out that as a kid, Jeremy Macon Blair and the lead in this film, a guy named Chris Sharp, actually created something called the Lab of Madness, which is not a cartoon that you would watch with your kids.
Dexter's Laboratory?
No. The Lab of Madness is actually, it's what they called their collection of horror shorts that they shot on VHS and Super 8 when they were kids. In 1986, while they were in 6th grade, they made a film called Mega Cop, and they would keep on making films all the way through high school. They did a lot of projects in the form of video. And they actually shot their own interpretations of Macbeth and Beowulf.
I really think Beowulf is like the most overrated thing ever.
It's fine. But yeah, after high school, they went to separate film schools and stayed in touch and came together to work on Murder Party. After they couldn't get any funding, they shot it themselves, which I absolutely love. I think this movie is a hoot, and you should definitely check it out. It's not like your typical Saulnier film. But it's really great. I enjoy it a lot. It's a cool little underrated Halloween flick. Are you still here?
All right, back to my movie. I was going to tell you about something because I thought this was really fun. I don't know how much you remember Grindhouse, but one of the faux trailers was for a faux movie called Don't.
If you are thinking of going into this house, don't.
And the trailer was directed by Edgar Wright.
Okay.
It was based on The Legend of Hill House.
Oh, I didn't know that. You could
fun?
Speak it up.
I mean, shouldn't you whisper for spooky things? It was based on The Legend of Hill House. So that was really fun, I thought. Here's some other 70s movies that I'm putting into my roster for this Halloween.
The 70s thing, because that's my favorite era.
Normally, I look at them and they look stupid, but this list was like the greatest looking list. Okay, so first of all, we've got Martin, which is
Martin.
Romero.
I think you
I've never
watched
seen it.
Oh,
Nope.
okay. Thought
Or-
you watched it this year.
Nope, didn't. Might have lied to you and told you I did. I definitely didn't. 1978. This seems fun because it's actually not about zombies. It's about a vampire. So I'm excited to watch that. The Brood.
Oh, classic. That's a Cronenberg flick.
Yes, it is a Cronenberg, and I love Cronenberg, and I've never seen this. So I'm like, fuck yeah, this is going to be great. Alice, Sweet Alice, 1976.
Nice little slasher.
Brooke Shields. And I read a really disturbing thing about Brooke Shields and her mother basically prostituting her. I didn't realize, like, she posed for Playboy when she was like 13, I think.
Really?
Yeah, look it up while I'm doing this.
No, I'm not going to look it
Well,
up.
no, don't look up the photos. Look at
I
the
don't want
story.
to look it up.
Oh, fine. Anyhow, I read
Jesus.
this. It was a really sad, tragic, fucking stupid student. You fucking dumbass.
We'll be right back.
The trick to saving is treating yourself to these Hy-Vee specials. Tombstone Pizza, 2 for $6. Ruffles Potato Chip, $1.88. Nabisco Premium Crackers, 88 cents. And USDA Choice Beef Chuck 7-bone roast, $1.27 a pound. Get low prices all day, every day. Shop Hy-Vee. And low prices.
I think you may have been right that you are in no condition to record.
Christ.
I don't think you're doing well.
Oh, Alice, Sweet Alice.
Great little slasher.
Yeah, but it kind of got stifled video nasties and whatnot.
It did, yeah.
Uh-huh. We already said Legend of Hell House. Then Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Another fun
So
little...
you've seen all of these.
I haven't seen The Brood.
I'm impressed because you don't watch many old movies.
You know that this is my era. I just don't like the 80s.
This doesn't make any sense. I've really been more into the 60s and the 80s, and I guess you just did the 70s. So now I'm diving in. House from 1977.
That's one I just cannot...
Okay, but you've watched it.
No, I can't find the time to do it.
Okay, why can't you find the time to do it? I don't get that.
Yeah, so this film, the director asked his preteen daughter what her idea of a scary film would be.
And she said, oh, if I go to this house in the country and the house wants to eat kids, that would be scary.
Yeah, it does involve that. It's kind of like Monster House, written by Dan Harmon, but...
I liked the movie Monster House.
I've heard it's great. I've never seen it.
It was really great.
But,
We watched it last week, actually.
but I feel like I'm not mentally prepared for a film like House, but maybe I'm making it something different in my head. I'm not a big fan of surreal elements in films.
Yeah,
And
it's not your jam. Well, wait a second. You love all the stupid psychedelic shit that we watch that I normally don't like. I only like it in Mandy.
Mandy?
I like Mandy, but the
Yeah.
other one that was like the more artsy one. I don't
Oh, the
remember.
Behind the Black Rainbow director. What was that
Yeah,
one?
I don't remember, but I didn't like it. Okay, so here's the next movie on the list.
No, that was the same director, right?
I don't know. I really liked Mandy, though. Who Can Kill a Child from 1976. Spanish horror movie.
Haven't seen that.
It was also called Island of the Damned. Have you seen it under that name? Okay, so
Santos Costumos. He did Mandy. Yep.
it was an English couple who head to an island for vacation after their third child is born. What they find is an island full of scary kids.
So are these all staff picks? Is that what we're doing
These
right
are
now?
all staff picks. Eraserhead from 1977, which is the only one that I've actually seen.
You're just doing a listicle right now?
Yes, but here's the thing. I almost stopped paying attention to this listicle because listen to
Okay.
what they said under Eraserhead.
About David Lynch's...
No, listen. I almost was like, these people don't know what they're fucking talking about, but the rest of the list looked really good, and I had already gotten psyched about the others, so at this
Okay.
point in the list, I'm like, well, I'm too far in.
Yeah.
This is David Cronenberg's
All right, so-
directorial debut in 1977.
Come
I'm like,
on, man.
wait, what? What are they doing? And then for a minute, I thought I had like glitched into a parallel dimension where David Cronenberg, not David Lynch, directed Eraserhead. And I looked and I was like, is this going to be a fucking Mandela effect thing and my brain's going to explode? But it wasn't.
Kind of yelling.
Sorry.
You're
And
getting all
then,
worked up, just like when earlier this week I told you that I was listening to David Lynch on Alex Jones' show, and then today I
you
texted
said,
you
yeah.
Chuck Palahniuk is on Joe Rogan.
I'm not going to listen to it until you tell me whether that clip's going to break my heart or not.
I was listening to the whole show. It's almost 3 hours, but I'm about 20 minutes in. And so far, I feel like Chuck Palahniuk has successfully dodged the intention of Joe Rogan's opening question, like an anti-cancel culture question, basically being like, "You can't write the way you used to today, can you?"
And it's like, no, I do.
He was like, "I do." It's I think that
good for him.
I think he really took the air out of the intention behind Joe Rogan's question,
yeah,
which
Palahniuk.
I
Fucking
enjoyed
love
quite
you,
a
man.
bit. So
You poison that cis male privilege, that
all right,
motherfucker.
calm down.
Okay. Toolbox Murders, 1978.
Can we really? That's
It's
plenty.
the last one.
Okay.
Fine.
I have Toolbox Murders on DVD or Blu-ray. But
So here's the thing that I'm going to do a call out to our listeners for,
Never
because
seen
this was
it.
the one that really intrigued me. Well, all of them did, but this one was, it says that it's based on a true story, just like Texas Chainsaw says
it
that.
is, yeah.
This listicle says that there was no known incident that was ever connected to it. So I want to know what it was actually based on, and if anybody has that information. Heavily violent, does not depict victims in a kind way. Huge cult following, obscure. So I'm going to get ready for that one.
It's based on the Lawrence Bittaker and Ray Norris serial killers.
Oh, see, there you go. I knew you'd help me out with this, Byron. I didn't
Yeah.
even need to go to the listeners.
Yeah,
hot dog,
they killed
hot
5
diggity
teenage
dog.
girls in Southern California over the period of 5 years. And I think they...
In an apartment complex?
I don't think so. I don't know. I'd have to really
'Cause this
refresh.
takes place in an apartment complex.
Well, maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I know that they used a lot of instruments of torture, like
Wiggity, wiggity,
ice
woo.
picks, sledgehammers, stuff that you'd
Super
find
fun.
in a toolbox.
Well, then maybe that is what it's based on. Humdinger. Anyhow, so I'm going to watch as many of those as I can between now and Halloween.
Oh, great. Well, technically, it's Halloween. Lightning. Chains. I love the guy dragging chains sound effect. That's my favorite one.
Is it really?
I kinda, because it's like, come on.
Why would somebody be dragging chains?
Oh no!
Why is that scary?
Why is that spooky?
That's just, it's more annoying, right?
Well,
It's like,
I think it was a time when the dungeon was something, you know?
oh, like
People-
the 1400s, you mean?
Well, there was a period in like the 60s through the 80s where I think that the dungeon was more of a common thing in horror.
I thought you were going to say in homes.
In
I was
homes?
like, nope,
You don't have
pretty sure
a,
it wasn't.
it's called a basement. I'm sorry. I get those all goofed up sometimes. But you know, there's something like the Hammer horror. They had more dungeons and brick and chains.
I guess.
But
I don't know. I didn't watch much Hammer.
I didn't either. That's a Sam thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go ahead and take those chains, wrap them around the...
Byron, stay here. I'm going to wrap you in chains.
Don't do that. We got to close the store, okay?
Yeah, well, we got to make sure somebody watches this place overnight. There's been a lot of vandalism in the area, so you stay here.
I don't want... Oh, is it like a haunted lock-in?
Yep, haunted
All right,
lock-in.
Well, we're going to stay here, I guess.
I'm bringing Baggins in. You hang out with him tonight.
I don't want to.
I didn't read the book before my loan ran out.
After a year delay, I guess it's time to talk Peacock original film, Halloween Kills.
We hope you're enjoying your visit here this evening. Now, on with the show.
Is there a year delay on this?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't the other one come out last year?
Nope.
It was 2 years ago.
2018.
Last year didn't happen.
It was 3 years ago.
Fuck, no way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
It was 2018.
No, it fucking wasn't.
Sure was. I'm really
no,
sorry.
it wasn't.
I'm really
No, it wasn't.
so sorry.
No, it wasn't.
Halloween Kills.
No way.
It's a 2021 weird to record inside. Feels like normal, but at the same time, you are like the fucking. It's like there was a focus down on the porch.
There's focus.
There's zero
Easier for
focus
me.
here. Actually crying. You haven't heard that for like 100 episodes. You used to cry on like a bi-weekly basis on the program. Halloween Kills is a 2021 American slasher film directed by David Gordon Green, written by Green, Danny McBride, and Scott Teems.
Every time I hear David Gordon Green, I think it's just Brian Austin Green, and then I feel like I have to talk about Megan Fox.
You
and,
don't. You don't need to talk.
I am weed, and then I feel like we need to.
The film is a
go down
direct
that
sequel
rabbit
to the
hole.
2018 Halloween, and it's the 12th installment in the Halloween
12.
franchise.
Well, that means the next one's 13. That's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that might be why it's called. We'll get to it.
But do they count 3? I mean, that's where it gets tricky in my mind.
The nightmare isn't over. As unstoppable killer Michael Myers escapes from Laurie Strode's trap to continue his ritual bloodbath. Injured and taken to the hospital, Laurie fights through the pain as she inspires residents of Haddonfield, Illinois to rise up against Myers.
Woo, woo, woo.
Taking matters into their own hands, the Strode women and other survivors form a vigilante mob to hunt down Michael and end his reign of terror once and for all. Austin Gordon David Green. David Gordon Green.
Wasn't that the one that was married to Megan Fox?
I don't know. I don't recall.
He was the one from 90210.
Unsure.
I fucking hate that couple.
Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox?
Fuck.
All right.
Most annoying humans
Don't need to talk about it, but yeah. David Gordon Green, he's an interesting director.
Tell me what else he's done.
Okay, well, he manages to walk the line between heartfelt art house drama, absurdist comedy, and now he's made a name for himself in horror. Kelly, one of his first breakthroughs was a film called All the Real Girls. It's a romantic drama from 2003 starring Zooey Deschanel and Paul Schneider. I probably rented a physical copy of it on Netflix when Netflix did discs.
Did?
I think.
It took me a good 30 seconds to realize you weren't talking about Lars and the Real Girl.
So this was his first on-screen collaboration with Danny McBride way back in 2003. Danny McBride played a character named Bust Ass in that. I bet he was the comic relief, would be my guess. So I've seen several of his films premiere at South by Southwest. Charming Guy, Prince Avalanche with Paul Rudd. I think we gave Rudd a 5 at that one. I've got a picture. Rudd was very nice.
You give everybody 5s.
Well, yeah, it's a South by Southwest thing. I don't
Make
think
it sound like that's not, yeah.
And you know what? We got a 5 from Nick Cage at the premiere of his other film, David Gordon Green's film Joe. Have you seen Prince Avalanche or Joe?
You're making no sense to me about either of those.
Just because it's a film you haven't seen? Well, so
what are they about? Are they horror? Oh,
no,
well then no,
not
of course
even
I haven't seen
close.
it. You don't let me watch anything else.
Well, this was way back in 2013.
Yeah, that was pretty close to when you stopped letting me watch anything
So
else.
he's also the guy that brought us comedies like Pineapple Express, Your Highness, and The Sitter. And skipping some things and shifting again, the film he worked on before Halloween was a Jake Gyllenhaal movie that I've never seen, based on a memoir of a man who lost his legs in the Boston bombing called Stronger.
Oh, I remember hearing about it, but I haven't seen it either.
So we've got his more serious art house style, and then we've got the dumbass stoner comedies, and now he's a horror guy. So I feel like he's really spanned many genres, and he's made a name for himself pretty much in every one of those. Halloween, episode 184. Go check that out. We talk a lot about it.
It really was.
It was a while back.
18. It wasn't 19.
It was 18. Yeah. And we're finally here. After a year delay due to COVID, Halloween Kills had its world premiere at the 78th Venice International Film Festival on September 8th of 2021 and was theatrically released in the United States on October 15th, 2021. It was also made available on the streaming service Peacock the same day. Interesting choice. Unexpected.
I mean, did Peacock just pay a bunch of money for that? Because that's what it seems. I mean,
it's owned by Universal, and Universal is the parent company behind Blumhouse and this. So, yeah.
Oh, by the way, we forgot to talk about this earlier. Fuck.
What's that?
I was just going to talk about the connection between the person who seems to likely be responsible for poor Alec Baldwin feeling like he killed somebody.
We don't need to talk about that.
It's very sad.
I mean, we could talk about on-set safety and a behind the screams or something like that. That could be...
That sounds boring.
That's kind of fun to talk about, like Brian, what's his name? Not Brian. Brad? What's it?
Pitt?
Bruce Lee's kid?
Oh, Brandon.
Yeah. So it was rumored that if the 2018 Halloween was successful, that they would shoot another film, and they actually pitched 2, and they were going to shoot them back to back at the same time. Simultaneously is probably a better word for that.
I liked it. That was better.
It was their intention to do that, but they pulled the plug due to an intense schedule, is what they said, which I think is good, because that would have been a bit ambitious considering some of the moments in Halloween Kills.
What moments?
Well, we'll talk about it. They did announce 2 titles and release dates at the same time, though. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends released a year apart.
Oh, really? They're actually calling it Halloween Ends?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Remember when they said that the one apparently
how
3
many
years
of the
ago?
final chapters have we seen, though?
So fucking many.
Yeah, they don't. It's not real. It doesn't matter.
No.
And David Gordon Green, he was set to do both of them, so this is his Halloween Kills, and we have a Halloween Ends to look forward to. Kelly, general feelings about Halloween Kills. What's
fun?
Yeah, good word. 3.
Stupid.
Kinda, yeah.
Like fun and stupid. It was great. I
Okay.
mean, the thing is, I love the character of Lori. I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
We could go back to episode, what was it, 184, and
But she's fucking annoying in this.
thank you. I said this last time, years ago. I thought that the prepper Lori character was bullshit. I didn't like it.
It's just over the top, and I think probably like at this point that personality type just offends me more than it did a couple of years ago.
Interesting. I don't see that as a problem so much as like David Gordon Green is a very subtle and balanced director. I think that the Lori character is a couple notches higher than he would prefer.
What do you mean?
Like even in the big moments in like, you could go back to Joe is a very intense movie.
Okay, well, yeah, again, I haven't seen it.
He does a lot with quiet. Small moments mean a lot. He's a lot, David Gordon Green is a lot like Jeremy Saulnier. Very similar characteristics. They just work in different fields. I don't know. I'm trying to, because it's hard to say that when it's the guy who also made Pineapple Express.
Yeah. Well,
Pineapple Express is like is still a very controlled film.
Is it? Franco.
I think so.
Nothing's
Yeah.
controlled
Can't
with
talk
Franco.
about Franco. Yeah. But
Cancel culture!
it seems like you were anti-cancel culture with your weird rock and roll thing that you just did.
I was mocking people that are
Okay,
anti-cancel
good,
culture.
just making
is what I
sure.
was doing. I fucking love
Just
cancel
wanted you to-
culture.
just wanted you to
I
clarify.
am so fucking pro cancel culture.
Well, yeah.
I'll probably get canceled at some point too. I have no doubt. I probably will deserve it too,
Well,
and that's okay.
I've got the
fucking cancel me if you need to.
I've got a folder called the Red Button where I keep everything offensive that Kelly's ever said.
It's a big file.
It's
I am-
overwhelming. It's
I
its
am
own
the
hard drive at this point.
In mouth queen.
All I'm saying is I don't think that the Lori character, and there's one moment specifically where she, well, I'll tell you about it. Let's start.
Tell me.
Let's start that. I just think her character's a little bit big.
Are you like commenting on her weight?
No. Am I canceled now?
You're canceled.
All right.
That does sound like I'm mocking cancel culture. I think it's a
did.
fucking.
We don't
like,
need to
there is nothing
We
more
don't.
free market than cancel culture. It
Yeah.
is the most free
It's
market
the most
thing
libertarian
ever.
idea
It is. It's
in film.
fucking glorious.
So this movie picks up, and Kelly is a libertarian, is what I'm
No,
saying.
I'm not. It's the only good thing.
Just fucking up.
fucking
right.
stop hurting me.
Events. This picks up where the last film left off. We got Hawkins discovered with a neck wound by the son of Tommy. Is that right? Yeah, he's bleeding, and it leads us to a flashback to Halloween 1978. This was a weird way to start the film.
I don't know. I liked it. I liked getting a different angle from the original night. Also, it has a cool dude in it.
Our good friend Jim
Yeah.
Cummings, one of the best actor, writer, directors in the biz.
Why don't we ever talk to him?
Maybe he could just possibly be a Camp Frightday guest of honor. Who knows? Camp.frightday.com.
Are you really gonna do that?
I do think the flashback is cool, but it seemed a little heavy-handed in what it was trying to get
This
at.
whole movie is heavy-handed. It's not a fucking nuanced movie.
I think that some of the performances later on are a little bit more nuanced.
No.
I think so.
This is a sledgehammer movie. This is not a nuanced movie.
It seemed like
Like
it was
it for what it
shoving-
is. Don't
I
try to
do
make
like
it
for
something
what
it's
it is.
not.
Don't, spoiler alert, I like it for what it is.
I like it too.
But I just thought it was a little bit goofy and tonally kind of inconsistent.
Yeah. Like a sledgehammer.
They take like a brief, I don't know, I haven't seen the original Halloween in a very long time. How important was Hawkins as a character in the original? Was he just a
I
blink?
don't know. Oh, probably. I don't know.
But they do a good job of like taking elements. That's the whole point of this movie, is taking elements from the original and expanding on their stories.
It's fun because you got to cover something new. Unless they just did a sequel to Season of the Witch, which honestly would be the best play ever.
You think Season of the Witch would be a play?
No. That'd be the best
That'd be a
move.
good move. Okay.
Like do a sequel to that one.
That would be interesting.
Like do Halloween 3.1.
That'd be kind of cool. But flash forward 40 years, we're at like a divey bar.
With a talent show?
An adult talent show on. You've never been to an adult Halloween talent show?
No.
No. It's a place where Tommy Doyle and a lot of the other survivors of Halloween's past, 40 years before, are gathering to celebrate, commemorate. What exactly are they doing there?
I mean, I guess it's a Halloween gathering one way or the other, right?
Tommy Doyle, he was the little boy that Lori was babysitting. Is that correct? In the first film?
Yes.
Okay. And then the
Tommy!
other...
Can't you hear her yelling about
Yes.
Tommy?
But then there's Marion Chambers, Lindsay Wallace, and Cameron's father-in-law, Elam?
I don't know.
And they were all people who encountered Michael briefly in the first film. So it's cool that Danny McBride, which is also very interesting that we...
It's so funny that Sam was telling me, he was like, yeah, Danny McBride co-wrote this. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Which Danny McBride? Like, what? He's like,
Well,
no,
I think you had
no
that same-
Gemstones.
You had that same response
Probably.
in 2018. would be
Probably.
my
This
guess.
is the way my brain works.
He had that role in Alien Isolation. Was that the movie that we covered for the show?
Alien Isolation.
One of the modern Alien movies.
Prometheus?
No. Alien Covenant back in 2017. We covered for the show. And Danny McBride plays a guy named Tennessee in it. Oh God, it's so sad to watch your brain melt in real time. You just really don't recall.
No.
All I'm saying is it's interesting that Danny McBride...
Oh, now I remember that.
All right, sure. Danny McBride, comedy guy, good at horror.
He's good at things.
And
He's
this is
really
just,
good.
It's just more proof that comedy and horror have
When
a lot
is
more
Gemstones coming back?
in common with each other than you think. The elements in comedy and horror that make it successful are timing.
Horror is about timing too,
Yes,
but
it
you're
is.
just yelling about how this has bad timing. So are you saying that
No,
McBride is a bad comedian
I'm
and a
gonna
bad
lay-
horror
I'm
writer?
gonna lay down on the floor. People had a lot of problems with the firefighter scene. I believe there was a petition to get it removed. I think that people found it disrespectful, and I think it was actually a really cool sequence.
I mean, it was one of those situations where by that point in the movie, I felt like a bad human, but I was pretty much laughing.
I mean, it was, yeah.
Because it was like...
It's pretty over the top.
It's so over the top.
The firefighters were like branching axes like it was a beginning of like a gang fight or something.
Well, and it was, I mean, there was definitely like a Frankenstein element to
Totally.
this.
Well,
with
the
like the
whole-
mobs
throughout the
attacking
whole
him.
thing, yeah.
It was just, it's a ridiculous thing because this 12 movies now have, well, 11 of them because one of them was Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
They've all relied on the idea that no one in the story remembers that nothing kills him. Like,
I mean,
no
there was a
one...
point where he was, well, no, he
No
wasn't.
one remembers. Like,
Yeah.
and everybody continues to be really fucking surprised when things don't kill him.
I believe that the reboot negates most of the middle, and he's just locked up in an insane asylum following what happens in the original. Is that right?
I don't know.
Remember the
I could not
podcasters?
tell
Listen,
you.
it was.
I can't tell you what happens in 4 through 10.
Well,
I don't know.
I think that what happened with the David Gordon Green reboot is that we jump past a lot of that.
I mean, I feel like they need to give some cliff notes at the beginning of these, like just
Well, we
just a
could have
brief
easily watched
screen
it
grab
again, or-
that says, like, or just a brief title card that just says, "Hey, so
You are a
plot." What's happening here is those other ones you watched that is not canon to what we're talking about.
Sure.
Ignore. This is the one that is canon.
I think we would have
Here's
picked
a
it up
roadmap.
if we would have rewatched the original David Gordon Green one before this. But the firefighter fight sequence was great. It was really cool in the trailer. It sucked me in. It bummed some people out. At the same time,
Oh, why? Because they were killing firefighters? I mean,
Yes.
it's not cool. But it's not cool to kill anybody.
I agree.
As it turns out.
These are murder movies.
Mhm.
Lori and her daughter, Karen, and her daughter, Allison, are in the back of a truck heading to the hospital because Lori's been stabbed in the guts. This is just another one of the Laurie Strode Prepper moments where she's yelling at the firefighters to let it burn.
Yeah, Laurie Strode is basically like a Arrested Development grandma theater kid.
Sure.
That just,
Okay.
I just wanted to I wanted her to die
She's alive,
in the
but-
hospital. I really did.
While she's in the hospital getting surgery, really cool graphic surgery scene. I liked seeing bodies flapped open like that. When in the film does this old couple playing with a drone get killed? I guess it have to be after
I
the
liked that
firefighter.
couple. They were so cute.
And after Michael Myers is reported to have been
Right.
alive and
Right.
brutally killed an entire team of firefighters.
Right. Because everybody in the hospital is quite sure that he's dead. Because of course he's dead. Because he died. He died.
I don't know why
I
they
saw
would
him die.
because he
burned him.
He was lured into a basement and metal bars like shot over the top of the staircase.
Again, nothing has ever killed him. I also
But
think
remember,
that's the one,
I'm telling you, the middle is pulled out.
But if you want to really talk about this, like this movie definitely jumps full walrus into he's
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this is one of the first confirmations of supernatural Michael Myers that we've had in, I think, any of them.
But he did have gray hair.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Which is interesting.
I love the old couple getting killed scene. I think this is the only side moment that I actually did enjoy in this. And there's a handful of these little side stories that I think are unnecessary. I think they had a lot of charm. They were a cute couple. Goofing around with a drone.
They were so cute.
Yeah, and they died really quick for no reason.
I really liked them a lot.
Wow, it's been a long time since I've said this. Maybe years. I love a slow, steady stab. There's nothing scarier to me than just like someone pushing something. Just I'm making a gesture towards you.
Don't stab me.
Into the neck. It's horrifying. There's something about a controlled stab that really shakes me up.
Everything he does is controlled because he's always just cool as a cucumber.
He really is.
Part of it is the mask, so you can't tell if he's making.
True. But the way he walks, his body language, the guy just
never breaks a sweat.
Not a bit. But yeah, when we see a fluorescent tube going into the neck of that woman,
that was very sad.
He does do some hard stabs like a moment later when he fills that guy's torso with like 7 knives.
But he was like very interested in doing it.
It's true. Like, that's the thing. Michael Myers is always like a boy dissecting a frog. He has that kind of energy. Very like curious.
Baby serial killer.
Yeah. We're back at the freaking hospital, and Laurie has really Tommy Doyle's.
He's coming to the hospital.
Well, no. This is the Evil Dies Tonight chant. This is where the whole town comes together.
And at that point, I knew that I was faced with a decision. I had to either cringe the rest of the movie or just lean in and laugh.
Yeah.
So I leaned in.
I don't know if I felt the need to laugh. I
laughed.
I liked it. I guess I'm spilling most of my final thoughts throughout this, so I will just say what I said before. This feels like a late 90s horror film, but dealt with care. Mm-hmm. It's got like the writing of a bad 90s slasher, but it's done visually really stunning and also incredibly well acted. There's something about it that takes it a level up past that, like you're saying, like laughing.
It's true, except Laurie.
Laurie, she's the problem character because I like Tommy. Tommy's great. We were speaking about Rogan, Jocko Willnick or whatever his name.
Tommy?
Yes, but
no, Tommy is
no, Jocko Willnick. He's a.
That's not Tommy.
I know. He looks like him though. He's a former Navy SEAL and podcaster that is on Rogan. He's like a motivational like bro dude. He reminds me so much of this Tommy character for some reason.
No, a bro dude that's on Rogan's podcast all the time probably isn't somebody that I love.
Well, I mean, I don't think that you would like the Tommy character played by Anthony Scott Hall.
He was just kind of.
Is that his name?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. I get him mixed up with Dexter. Michael C. Hall. I get those guys goofed.
But Scott's not in either of them. Okay. So it was a little bit like adorable, I guess, that he was like, "Oh, I'm going to save my old babysitter." Doyle.
Tommy Doyle. That's why.
No, it's just Doyle.
But yeah, so he was the kid that Laurie was babysitting, and she protected him, and now he's going to protect her because she's too hurt to. She's too hurt. Well, temporarily. Mm-hmm. This is the worst part of the movie. Tommy Doyle stirs up everyone. They do the Evil Dies Tonight, and they basically start like a Frankenstein lynch mob. Even the sheriff kind of joins in reluctantly because they've fucked up. They've let Michael out too many times. Too many people have died. The police just aren't doing their job.
I mean, everybody's fucked up because every dumb moron thinks that when they hurt him, he's dead. He's never gonna be dead.
Well, who knows? There is another
never
movie
gonna be dead
after this, but
I guess they get like some silver bullets and like maybe some garlic and sunlight and.
The mob splits up. We've got the survivors of the original joining up with Allison, I guess, joins her boyfriend. Is that right? Yeah, Allison played by Andy Matichak. Mm-hmm. I like her a lot. How old do you think she is, by the way?
23.
27 years old.
That's cool.
Her age isn't listed anywhere because I think she wants to play a 20-year-old for a couple more years. It is cool. I think she's great. She splits off with her boyfriend and joins one of these groups hunting down Michael, and I don't understand this. This doesn't make much sense to me. If Evil Dies Tonight, why don't they just, like, I don't know, make a better plan other than just driving around looking for Michael Myers? He's really good at sneaking up on people. But Laurie, is it at this point that she decides that she is going to join in and injects herself with
I think so. And she's like yelling at her daughter, like, you can't take my hair.
And her daughter
reminds me of like a 90-year-old man whose kids are trying to tell him he can't drive anymore.
So this scene was the worst moment of the entire thing.
I really liked
Judy
Hawkins.
Greer?
Like hanging out on the other side of the room. I thought he did a good job.
You and I kind of go back and forth on the importance of Hawkins. I understand.
I just thought it was a cool spin.
I understand that it's the wraparound.
It was wraparound.
Him not killing Michael at the beginning kind of sets in motion the guilt that he's feeling at the end and why he wants to end it tonight when evil dies. He's the one who survived that weird neck wound from the first movie. Lori grabs a vial in a large syringe, fills it up, and her daughter, played by Judy Greer, Karen.
What did she said?
She says, "Do you even know what that is?" Lori fills up a full syringe, aggressively stabs it into her ass, and says, "It takes away the pain." Or it makes it so I don't feel the pain or something.
Something awful like that. Yeah,
And
it was something that would be more appropriate like in a really sad peak scene in like Requiem for a Dream.
But it was done, it's so cheesy.
It was bad.
The delivery was so...
It was very bad.
That's my worst scene. I hated that. But I did like that Lori, for the most part, was out of this movie. She really wasn't a main...
Yeah, they needed to keep her a little
They
more.
did.
She should have been in a fucking coma the whole time. That's what it should have been.
She was sleeping for like a
Can
good 30.
we put her in a coma
This
for
is
the
really
next
mean
one?
to say because it's disrespectful. She's a horror legend, but I don't know, man. More Judy Greer, I'd be fine with that. Love Judy Greer. Jawbreaker, Adaptation, The Village, and Jeff Who Lives at Home. So much more. I think she's incredible.
Spring Break Woo.
Don't know what that is.
Are you kidding me?
Never seen Spring Break Woo.
Arrested Development.
Oh,
The
I see
secretary
what
that
you're
goes
saying.
spring. That's Judy.
Yeah,
That's her.
I know it's her. I just
Okay.
didn't know the name of whatever the hell you were talking about. But
Spring Break Woo.
okay, splitting up, the groups just get...
I guess another point that she's a good comedian too.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss female comedians too.
Great idea.
Yeah.
A lot of the people just get brutally murdered. Side story characters, the prank kids who are pranking Big John and Little John.
Which just like annoying punk kids.
Yeah.
Like I loved Big John and Little John. They
You're a
were
big
my
fan of
favorite
Big
part
John.
of my
See,
fucking movie.
I think that they could go. I
No,
didn't think it was a
loved
very
them.
well.
I fucking loved
This movie's an hour and 45 or 47 minutes. I just think that there's
I
a lot
did
of
feel like they
chunks that-
probably had a bigger piece in it.
Oh, you think that Big John and Little John at some point had more of a story than just being
Yes, I do.
a couple that live in the former home of Michael Myers?
Yes, I do
All right,
believe
well,
that.
They were fine. Michael McDonald, not the singer, the guy who used to be in Mad TV, and a guy named Scott MacArthur, who plays Scotty in The Righteous Gemstones.
God, I love The Righteous Gemstones.
I know you do.
If we could please just get that.
It was
back.
fine. It very easily could have been Michael goes to his house and kills the residents the same way that he killed the other couple that I enjoyed so much.
Okay.
I didn't like the Big John Little John thing. Thought it was kind of tonally again a little bit shifted.
I don't know. I think it just kept the tone consistently just a little bit goofy.
Just turned up a bit.
A little bit over
All right.
the top goof.
The way some of the characters died in this, like when Michael kicks a door open and knocks a gun into the head of someone else, almost like Wayne Nance died. Remember when he's getting beat up with that butt of a gun and ended up accidentally shooting himself in the head? Or shooting himself in the head on purpose, who knows? But it's kind of it was funny, but at the same time, like, we lost so many characters that we were told were important, which I guess is cool, but I don't know.
Yeah.
The weight was taken away prematurely.
Yeah, maybe. I guess I could see that argument.
Lance Trevoli, how do you feel about him? The other escaped inmate, stole a car, ended up at the hospital.
It was very sad.
Was sad.
It was sad. That was the Frankenstein piece.
Yeah, it was very Frankenstein.
It was very Frankenstein.
I just kind of took the whole thing as a Frankenstein, except for Frankenstein was misunderstood and Michael Myers is certainly not.
Right, but this guy was.
He was. Yeah,
so that's
absolutely.
why that's full Frankenstein.
Totally makes sense. Didn't even put it together. Is there anything else about this you want to talk about? We've shit on Jamie.
I mean, I love her. You know what I just I need her to be in a coma.
I kind of want to talk about the final scene real
wanna?
quick. Yeah, so let's
Go.
I guess it's time for dead giveaways. This is the point in the show where we spoil a movie or parts of it. So if you don't want it spoiled, why don't you freaking download Peacock and watch Halloween Kills, okay?
I gotta cancel my fucking subscription. I forgot.
Or go to a theater. Support cinema if you feel safe or comfortable.
I am more than happy to pay $20 for a VOD rental. More than happy.
I think this is a great little flick.
Yep.
The showdown sequence. We got Allison.
Wasn't really a showdown.
Allison stumbles down the stairs after attempting to kill Michael Myers. Her boyfriend's neck is twisted around, and he's a drooling mess. Suddenly, her mother, Karen, is there with a pitchfork and stabs Michael Myers in the back, and then leads him down.
I mean, the pitchfork was like so overt.
We're back to Frank, yeah. Why didn't she keep stabbing him in the head or like pin him down to the ground with a pitchfork with a little bit more aggression, considering her daughter's life was at risk? I understand that there's a plot to lure him into a situation where the entire town would like Julius Caesar him to death. Michael does his classic slow walk through the neighborhood where all the townsfolk are waiting. They block him in with
Remember,
cars.
he's got the mask off for a while, and then he puts it back on.
Yeah. I kind of liked, they thought they had him, and then they violently all get murdered by a supernatural Michael Myers.
Supernatural.
I loved it. Except I feel like when you have a villain like that, you got to just like quarter him, right? Like you got to chop him up into little pieces or else he's not dead.
He still wouldn't be dead. I guarantee you he would Iron Giant that thing and fucking reassemble himself, and it'd be right back to...
It's like true Frankenstein at that point. But there's something really fun about a gang of people violently destroying Michael Myers. I thought that was a cool little sequence. It was fun. I like a everyone coming together moment. It was a really
everyone coming together to die.
No, well, they died, but before they all died, I liked that moment where everyone was kind of getting their vengeance on the killer. I thought it was cool. I don't know. Maybe we don't even need to talk about this. I just thought it was sick.
It was cool. I mean, it was interesting because it was like, really? You think you got him, huh?
Of course, there's another movie.
For the 974th time in this cinematic series. Oh, he's dead. We got him. He's dead.
Maybe.
I mean, here's the thing. If you go back to the original,
it lulled me into thinking that I had no expectation. So I was like, oh, cool. And then when he came back, I was like, oh, wow. It dumbed me down that much.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you go back to the original,
yeah,
I remember when I first watched the original, I think there are 3 different times where he's down and gets back up.
Yeah.
And by the third time, I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Obviously, he's not dead. And so I feel like 12 movies later, when I'm still yelling that.
I don't know. I was like totally zenned out at that point. I was just like okay with whatever happened. Maybe I gave in. Either way, I dug it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Just a quick note here. Apparently, Halloween Ends is going to take place at least 4 years later.
No. So maybe she is dead then.
In 2022, and will address the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, no.
Green describes End as, quote, a coming-of-age story and a more intimate movie where some of the characters have processed the insanity of the circus of the massacre of 2018. I hope he doesn't go that direction, because that doesn't sound very cool or fun, but I trust him.
Wait.
It's like, what is this going to be, like a faux documentary about the massacre that happened in 2018? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, no, I'm less excited.
Yeah, well, Kelly...
Maybe they'll bring Danny McBride into the movie.
Okay, what do you think about Halloween Kills?
It was really fun. Don't go in expecting like a earth-shattering, horror genre bending, amazing cinematic experience, but go in expecting a really fun Halloween flick. And you won't be disappointed. It's obviously worth watching.
Yeah.
If for no other reason than Big John and Little John.
Oh, God.
I give Halloween Kills 6.6 Little John pirate costumes.
6.6, huh? Wow. All right.
Yeah. It was enjoyable.
I love David Gordon Green. I think he's a very talented director. I really like his eye. I think that he is working within a franchise that gives him limitations that sometimes are destructive to the end product. I don't like Laurie. I still don't. I liked her more in this than I did in the last one when she was forcibly toned down.
Mm-hmm.
But I really did enjoy the way they put this story together. I think that there were some moments where the tone was a little iffy, but
Very iffy.
I think that those moments were awkward but brief. The bringing the survivors together was interesting. I don't think that it was as strong of a wraparound as it could have been. But yeah, overall, this is just a fun film, and I enjoyed myself, especially when I gave in. You know, like you said, you just got to give yourself up to this. And I'm looking forward to Halloween Ends. I don't know what it's going to be, but I guess they bought themselves more time to figure that out. For all those reasons, I give Halloween Kills 6.8 fireman's axes. That seems pretty obvious, but...
No, I think that's good.
And those are our thoughts on Halloween Kills, which is available again on Peacock or in theaters, wherever you get it. Check it out. And once you have, let us know what you think. Reach out to us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is @Frightday. You can leave a comment below this episode in the show notes at frightday.com or send us an email, contact@frightday.com. Let's have a full discussion in the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Frightday, if that's still what it's called. I heard that the name is changing pretty soon here.
Wait, what?
Facebook is doing a rebrand.
Oh, fuck
We're
Facebook,
moving
man.
into
Can we
the
please...
meta universe.
God, it's awful.
If you don't like that and agree with Kelly, we have Discord, discord.frightday.com. Join the server there. Great conversation. And if you like our show and want to help us make it even better, grab something spooky, like a big old long chain that we're selling in the store, shop.frightday.com. We just sell dragging chains.
Fuck.
You know, make your presence known. Pick up a Frightday dragging chain or a t-shirt, pins, patches, all kinds of stuff, shop.frightday.com. And we may be fueled by Spring Hill Jack Coffee, but it's the members of the Frightday Society who keep our story straight, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm confused by the timeline of Halloween.
I'm confused by everything.
When you join the Frightday Society at patreon.com/Frightday or cult.frightday.com, you get bonus episodes of Behind the Screams. We're over 60 of those at this point.
Are we at 66 yet?
Not quite.
That's a digit from 666.
It is. It's two of the digits. Of course, that's the show behind the show. There's also bonus episodes of Captain Kelly's Cryptids and Conspiracies, Byron's Serial Corner, The Writer's Room, Toast to Toast PM with Wine Kelly, and Cinema Autopsy. You'll find the first 10 episodes there, and members get early access to new products as well as members-only products and 15% off everything at shop.frightday.com. Woo! And remember, if you want to enroll in Camp Frightday this year, you do have to be a member. So join up as soon as possible, and once you do, it's free. Camp Frightday is free.
But the counselor packages.
Well, yeah, if you want really cool
no false
sweatsuit.
advertising here.
Pardon me. I'd like to welcome a couple folks. Matt M. Just joined the inner circle. Matt, your initiation, I need you to become a babysitter. I need you to protect children from serial killers in your neighborhood.
Especially if any of them are named Tommy.
It's a great idea. Find a boy named Tommy and force yourself into their house.
Because 40 years from now, Tommy might be needed to think for the 900th time that Michael Myers is dead.
Yeah, so you need to grab Tommy's parents by the collar of their shirt and say, "Let me watch your kid." Okay?
I mean, maybe let's not do that. I feel like you're going to get...
it's a great idea.
You're going to get him arrested.
Well, who knows? Athena G.
I love that name.
Year.
Athena's such a kick-ass name.
Athena, I need you to burst into a crowded place and yell "Evil dies tonight" and see if that crowd reacts. Because no one can say no to a chant.
I actually... okay, fine.
What do you think? What would you say?
I just don't... I feel like both of those... I mean... Athena a little bit less, but I think both of those could get people arrested.
Well, that's fine. It's worth it. The Proud Boys make you have to defend.
Fuck the Proud Boys.
Okay, fine. I don't want to talk
I read a really interesting article in The Guardian that was an interview with Bobcat Goldthwait about going on tour and dealing with Proud Boys in the front row who expected him to be like a redneck, apparently because of like his Police Academy character.
He'd be very pro-cop.
And he's like much more David Crossy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
You know, David Cross lived on the same property with Gavin McInnes, the founder of the Proud Boys.
How?
Well, him and Gavin McInnes were really close friends for a very long time.
How did David not rein him in?
I don't know. I think it's... Listen, this is Byron's brain stuff. So the streams are coming back, twitch.frightday.com, and that's a better place for me to talk about all this madness. I do want to say one person edited their pledge, moved up to the inner circle, It's a longtime listener, Danny S.
Welcome.
Danny, I need you.
We love you.
Love you a bunch. Danny, I need you to tell us, email Kelly, because she loves emails.
I love them.
What your adult talent show talent would be.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Should we do a talent show for
Camp Frightday? I think that's a great idea as well.
I like it.
Love you all very, very much. Thank you so much for your support on Patreon.
Grazie.
It means
Mille.
a lot. You're the best. Love you all. Hope you're having a safe celebration of All Hallows Eve. It's been a fun, spooky season. I feel like we haven't been as present as we should have been. Kelly's vacating, and I've been doing a lot of stuff.
I'm here.
I know, Kelly. I know you're crying.
I'm here.
Why are you crying again?
I'm here.
It's okay. We're gonna keep the spooky season going.
That's what we do.
That is what we do.
You don't need us as much during the spooky season as you
can
need
help
us in the
yourself.
rest of the year when the spooky season isn't being celebrated as many places.
Well, yeah. Kelly, speaking of places, where are you going to be until next week?
I'm gonna be
Don't need to make that.
under a surgeon's knife.
Oh, right.
Don't
scare everyone.
I'm fine. All's well. I'm gonna be watching 1970s horror films.
Great idea.
And you can find me at Kelly Frightday on Twitter or email me kelly@frightday.com.
And I'm at Byron McKoy on Twitter and Instagram. Byron@frightday.com is my email address. And until next Frightday, I'm Byron.
I'm Kelly.
Stay scared. What you got there? You know, the other music is playing. You've been listening to an Audio Wool original, produced by Byron McKoy, theme music provided by Cemeteries. For more programs like this, visit audiowool.co.